Hello, Lisa Richard here, owner of Loving Energy Recharge. I'm a Lightworker coach, certified human design guide, and student of the Gene Keys, coming in today to talk about the current energy we are in relationship to the teaching of human design, the Gene Keys, which is all about Gate 54. Now, this is still down in the root center, and if you caught the video from last week, you're going to notice a pattern that we're going to be in the root center for quite a bit of the month of January and also leading into February. Our root center brings us the pressure in the form of stress, and it's really here to help us evolve as a human. So there's a lot of pressure there right now. And this one in particular is leading towards our splenic center. So if you're to look at your human design chart, and if you don't have a copy of your chart, you can follow the link to my website, lovingenergyrecharge.com. And there's a resource page there for human design where you can get your chart and get some complimentary videos to help you get started. But let's take a look at this relationship between our root center and its connection driving us towards our spleen, which is one of our oldest awareness centers in human design. It is a pressure for us to be healthy. Now, our splenic center is our fears rooted to survival. So when you think of the pressure to be healthy, there's this inner energy that is stimulating us in order to help us perhaps look at some of those old fears that would cause a reactive tendency, that would cause you to fall into the victims of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and to really examine for yourself what is relevant to the you of today and what is the highest level of health that you can aspire towards. Now, when we look at the properties of Gate 54, it's really important to understand that every gate within human design, every gene key that's offered in its reflection, offers you three ingredients for transformation. Now, transformation is in your hands. You are the only one that knows your human journey. You're the only one that's walking in your shoes. You're the only one that knows how this shows up for you. Therefore, there's no shortcuts to life. And I know a lot of us want to be told the answers. We want to have a map that is laid out before us, assuring us that we are heading in the right direction. Well, that's where the inner journey becomes both a thing of beauty and a thing of frustration, because you're really going to have to take a look at all three ingredients within every single one of not just your active gates, but in all the gates that are within the human evolution. In reality, this means getting really clear on what we call the universal wounds, the universal karma, and also looking at what would be termed as the vices and the virtues. Everything exists. Mother Earth is such a beautiful reflection to us of the duality of life. The North Pole, the South Pole, the winter season, the summer season, right? There's so many things there that are in opposition to each other. The human journey is the same way. We are equal parts of darkness and light. You can't have one thing without the other. So here's where I'm going to challenge you and encourage you to not be afraid of examining your shadows. We spend so much time trying to be the good person or to look good in somebody else's eyes. We're worried about judgments on society. We're worried about fitting in with our peers. And in doing so, we are hiding things and sweeping them under the rug. You cannot go into a period of transformation unless you are willing to look at your own shadow tendencies and to look at them with love and forgiveness and full ownership, saying, you know what? Yeah, I did do that. But to also recognize that as humans, we all do that. So you're not alone in what you are discovering for yourself. You don't need to beat yourself up for what you discover. It is celebrating your awareness. When we become aware, we then have the power to choose differently for ourselves. And that is the free will. And the free will also encourages us that we have to ask for help. We have a higher guidance system. There's laws of the universe in play. You know, life is happening to us. We're a part of life. It is not changing its course and direction to meet our needs. We're not the center of the universe. We're part of this existence. So a beautiful way to start your human journey and your own transformation is to really develop a sense of humor, a sense of lightness, a sense of grace, a sense of understanding that, you know, if you were to look at the lawn and you see yourself as one blade of grass, well, the one blade of grass yourself doesn't make the landscape, right? It takes everything coming together in order to function really good as the whole. So your own job, my own job, is just to be the best version of yourself. And that's what the beautiful journey of transformation is all about. The willingness to look at your shadows can be a very exciting opportunity for you to sift through the components that are of your truth and to let go of the things that are not yours to carry. It's like panning for gold. You know, you're going to come into the waters of your emotions, your human body, and you're going to get into the muck and get into the grit, and you're going to bring it up into the surface. You're going to have the courage to gently sift through in order to find the treasures. The treasures is your awareness, your deeper sense of understanding what you are doing, why you are doing it, and does it benefit the versions of yourself that you want to carry into your future. We are in the numerological number of 8 for 2024, and it's such an exciting time because this is truly a year of inner transformation if you should choose it to be. But transformation, just like that number 8, it's the reminder that we're always dipping down to grab things, to bring them up, to transform into the higher energies, and then to come back down again for more. So you're not always going to be in this heightened state of feeling amazing. You're going to also have periods where you're going to go down. You're going to have to really sit in some honest truths for yourself. This requires the deepest compassion, the deepest grace, and really learning to parent yourself. So it starts with becoming aware of your mind, your mental tendencies to think, and the dialogue that you talk to yourself with. If you are learning to parent your own inner child, pay attention to how your mind is speaking to that child. And if you wouldn't say it to somebody else, question why you would say it to yourself. And a lot of time what we discover is these are words, phrases, hurts that we've picked up along our journey. They were either imposed on ourselves or we heard them in the collective language. So you're the adult now. Examine that language and ask yourself, is that really what I want to continue echoing out for other children, for your child, for the generations to come? Because we're really being pushed right now in this energy for this year to really emotionally and spiritually grow up. The children that are coming into the world, they are coming in more and more open, more and more sensitive. They are changing in their genetics in order to evolve to the greater capacity of the human to be more consciously aware. They require guidance. And that falls on us as responsible adults to really clean up our own self so that we can step in the position of really surrounding these children or others in their own journey to offer them love and support. We're not here to tell anybody what to do, because how do any of us know what is right for somebody else? So be very mindful with your tendency to want to try to fix or change or interfere with anybody else's journey, and see if you can make peace while we're in the energy this week of that pressure to be healthy, of how you can turn those experiences inwards to really feel within your own body, why am I affected by that situation? Why does it bother me so much to see what someone else is going through? Why does somebody's words affect me the way that they do? When you flip it and you come back into yourself, now you have the opportunity to do your own inner processing. When you embrace your own sensitivities and you see them for what you are, then you become less affected by the triggers that would stimulate your sensitivities. You feel it. You know for yourself, you know what? Those words are not language that I would use. So you choose not to hold it within your body, your waters, your awareness. You allow that to come in, go out, and you take the higher wisdom back forward that allows you to change the dialogue, that allows you to see things and say, you know what, that is not the truth of who I am. I do not accept that. And that might be your own dialogue, or that might be words from another. But it is such a beautiful opportunity to understand the importance of doing the shadow work, and then looking into what are the gifts and what are the higher aspirations that are available to me. So I feel like we kind of went on a little bit of an off course here talking about gate 54, but at the same time, everything is so relevant because everything is in the moment. And when you step into any kind of higher conscious work, channeling work, intuitive work, you're trusting that whatever comes through is what is needed to be heard by self and by others that are going to come in to connect with the energy. So let's dive really deep now into that gate 54, which is known as the gate of ambition in human design. And in the teachings of the gene keys, you're given 3 ingredients. You're going to look at the shadow in that gate, which is all about greed. You're going to look at the gift that is offered to you to be the alchemist of your own reality, which is inspiration. And you're going to look at the highest Sudi or highest divine essence that is possible when you do your own transformation work in this area. And that is all about ascension. So you can look at this as we are in Ascension Week for the period of January 5th to the 11th, even though we're always in the opportunity to ascend. But this energy here is a really big push up through the root center of who you are to help you to learn to get clear on what you are inspiring towards. What is your aspirations? And in order to understand, why am I going in that direction? Why is that important to me? Why do I want to show up that way? You must start by examining the shadow of greed. Where do you feel that you are applying greed or greediness within your own life? And a lot of people will say, well, I'm not greedy. I give everybody everything and I put myself last. Well, isn't putting yourself last greedy? Isn't it greedy to assume that everybody else should go before you? So I want to really encourage you to contemplate on greed. And in the teachings of the Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, he explains that greed is the shadow essence of anything where you would perceive there to be a lack. So when we feel that there is a lack, we try really, really hard to make sure our needs are met. That could be in relationship to anything that is linked to your survival, food, clothing, shelter, business, relationships, right? There's so many areas that this can apply. And this is why the teachings of human design and the gene keys is all a self-actualization journey. We have to do our own work to see, how does this show up in me? How can I get really clear about the areas where I am greedy? And how can I then become very clear on, well, what do I truly aspire to do? If your greed tendencies are not aligning to your true areas of aspiration, then you have an opportunity to let those things go. You start to become more aware of them, and you start to reject the tendency and the pressure inside your body that wants to jump in and get those needs met, or wants to be the first in the lineup, the first in the corporation, the first doing all these things. It's like a competition energy. But who are you competing against? And are you pulling away pieces of who you really are in order to try to conform to a conditioned mindset that you need to do something? So allow yourself some time this week to really sit into this energy of ambition. Ask yourself before you start, why is that important to me? And this is going to be some really, really strong energy. That they call this the Kundalini energy, because it's a pure essence of being able to pull up from around you and rise it from within. Now, when you rise something from within, you want it to purify the essence of who you are. So this is a beautiful opportunity. And for those that have practiced things like Kundalini yoga or any kind of yogic practice where you have to sit and maintain a pose, and perhaps you have generated some heat within your pose, or practice something called breaths of fire, and you may have felt that energy rise up, but yet you have to be still. So the secret is to allow the pressures to rise up, the heat to rise up, the energies to rise up, but not to contain them. It's to allow it to freely flow and to purify your energy centers all the way through. It's not a state of doing, it's a state of allowing yourself to be more balanced within the world around you, to be more present in you are one of many, and to see the relationship of the totality of the existence. So some beautiful, beautiful energy this week, but you're also going to be pressured to, I gotta put myself first. I want to be seen. I want to be noticed. And I have that same energy as well. So it's always questioning why. Why do I want to be seen? Why do I want to be noticed? Why do I want to be first? Why is it important to me to get that done? And if it aligns with what you aspire to do, go for it. But it all starts with your whys. So I'm sending much love to all of you. If you would like some resources on getting to know your human design, or tools perhaps to explore through the gene keys, and I'm a student of the gene keys. I'm not a teacher of the gene keys, but there is a relationship between human design, the gene keys, that I'm unfolding into the work that I do. So if you would like some tools to help support you on your own journey for self-actualization, feel free to visit my website, lovingenergyrecharge.com, and go to the tab there for human design. Enjoy this beautiful week going through gate 54, ambition. Namaste.